Unlike a car, handling a boat is a team effort, and each member of the crew will have a part to play, particularly when manoeuvring in close quarters. There should be one captain who will allocate tasks to the rest of the crew, and to save confusion, their word is law. So before starting any manoeuvre, make sure the crew all know what's being planned and what part they are expected to play. Steering is pretty much like a large car, but with a couple of significant differences. There is no solid road surface, and furthermore the surface itself can be moving. Because of this lack of firm contact, rather than accurately following a set of front wheels as a car would, a boat tends to rotate around a point roughly 1/3 of its length from the bow. This means that both the bow and stern will swing wide when manoeuvring. The fluid surface also means that braking is different too. To slow or stop the boat, it is necessary to put the propeller into reverse. Remember, a heavy boat has lots of momentum, so it will take several boat lengths to bring it to a complete halt. Reversing is another issue. The boats don't steer in reverse, so one manoeuvre worth looking at is the boating equivalent of a 3-point turn. Here, the trick is to use the full width of the waterway and swing the wheel to its full lock. Once you're closing on the opposite bank, you should pull the throttle into reverse. The wheel can be left over on the same lock, as the effect will be to slow the boat down whilst the bow continues to swing in the desired direction. The boat will move backwards, and you can continue in this direction as far as it's possible to go before putting the throttle back into forwards. The bow will again start to swing, and you can repeat this process until there is enough room for you to head off in the opposite direction from your original course. In tight spaces, it can sometimes be difficult to turn the boat using just the engine and steering. Putting a crew member ashore holding a bowline can make life a lot easier. Find a clear section of bank where the crew member can safely step ashore with the bowline. With the bow held fast, steer into the bank and move forward slowly. The stern will move away from the bank and keep swinging until there is sufficient clearance to reverse off the bank. Passing through bridges and tunnels represent no particular difficulty. Rather, it's just the common sense considerations related to headroom. Taking down sun umbrellas and removing other tall items from the top deck. Standing in the middle of the boat where the bridge or tunnel is usually highest. Go forward positively because the steering is more effective at speed. Going slowly reduces the steering effect. It's best to make sure you always go through the middle of a bridge, as they sometimes have wider bases under the waterline to support the structure. The effects of wind and current can make life easier or harder, so it's as well to understand how they come into play when you're manoeuvring. If the wind and current are broadly in the same direction, you can treat them as one force. When leaving a key heading into wind and current, the technique is to release the bowline, then push the bow towards the middle of the waterway, having pulled the line aboard. The elements can also help you, as they will tend to propel the bow into midstream where you want to go. One member of the crew should be ready at the stern to release the stern line. If you're on a very crowded quay with little space between you and the boats around you, a good tip is to take a mooring line and slip it through a convenient ring or bollard towards the middle of the boat. This will stop you drifting back with the wind and current. Engaging forward gear with the rudder turned full towards the bank will cause the boat's stern to move out into the stream. And when you're at a good angle to the quay, you can engage reverse, slipping the line as you go.